You know what's so interesting to me is the utter vitriol that people have towards Xbox. I've never really seen anything like it. I might not be the biggest PlayStation fan, but I think, a lot of people look at me and they go, well, he's definitely an Xbox fanboy. I sure am. I prefer Xbox 100%. I've never made that unclear to anybody. With that being said, I respect that there's a need for multiple people in that space to compete with each other so that we get the better deals. Well, we can get, better hardware, we get better everything that way. It's like these companies are trying to outdo each other, and that's where we really start to win. The difference is like I own a PlayStation 5. In fact, people might think that I hate PlayStation, and I own more PlayStation stuff than those people. So that's always funny to me. Like I think people, I've made it utterly clear that I play PlayStation exclusives. That's why I buy PlayStation stuff, not multi-plats or anything like that. Obviously I like the VR stuff as well. So that's sort of where my line in the sand is. With Xbox, I play pretty much everything. I'm a big Game Pass advocate. I love Game Pass. There's just so much going on there. It's hard not to enjoy what they're offering. So with that being said, I kind of look at this and I go, why is there so many people that are actively trying to want Xbox to stop selling consoles, right? Like, why do so many different people want Microsoft to stop selling consoles? I don't think I'll understand it. Do you guys not understand this? First of all, if you're a PlayStation fan, let me know in the comments or hit me up on Twitter or something. What good do you think would come out of Microsoft stopping selling the Xbox, right? Nintendo makes a different product than Sony, so they're not even really competing with each other. Nintendo is more after kind of that handheld, I think, kid market or whatever. Sony, obviously, going after the more hardcore and things like that. So without an Xbox on the market, couldn't Sony just come out with whatever they wanted? They could raise prices to whatever they wanted. They could charge you whatever they want. They could take away things, whatever they want. Literally, they have no reason to do anything better for you, the gamers. They already get away with doing a lot of this stuff, and that's with competition. And why are they getting away with it? Because they're not really looking at Xbox's competition, because they don't think, Microsoft really cares or whatever. For me, I think it's pretty clear that Microsoft cares. It's just that they've set themselves up to be successful, even if the platform doesn't do as well as PlayStation, right? Meaning they're going to make as much money as Sony does, even if their console doesn't sell as much. They're going to make more than Nintendo, even if their console doesn't sell as much, right? But people often mistake that as them not wanting to sell consoles. That's not true. There's a huge difference between need, where they have to, like Sony. Sony definitely needs to sell PlayStations, right? They need to. That's their business model. Microsoft has a very different business model, and in fact, if they really wanted to, they could probably be the only company that could afford to do this. But if they really, really wanted to, they could 100% put the Xbox out there for free. They could give away the Xbox. And why would you do that? You would make the money up in revenue from games that you sell, services that you provide, and things like that. You might think that that's crazy, but it's not really, because Microsoft doesn't make money on the stuff, on the hardware anyway. So, yeah, they would take an initial loss, but people would be having, hundreds of millions of people would have an Xbox at that point. That means that you have the potential to reach that many more subscriber base. That's why I always said it's silly to kind of look at the Xbox sales and go, oh, well, they're a failure, they're going to stop making consoles or whatever. I never bought into that for numerous reasons. The one reason being they make just as much as Sony does without having to sell as many platforms. And, again, I never understood the reasoning behind why people were so adamant that Microsoft sucks or that Microsoft should. Can anybody, that tell me reasonably, not some fanboy bullshit, but reasonably why they would want Microsoft to stop selling Xboxes? Why? Right? First of all, PlayStation fans do nothing but make fun of Xbox games anyway, and then they're like, oh, well, they're going to put them all on PlayStation. Like, you just got done making fun of all the PlayStation games, or all the Xbox games, talking about how Starfield sucks, Forza sucks, Gears sucks, Halo sucks, and now you're over here championing that you want those games on, on PlayStation. Like, get out of here. That doesn't make any sense. Why are so many people obsessed with this, right? Microsoft, obviously, they want to sell consoles. They want to sell Xboxes, but it's just not the number one priority. There's so many, they have different revenue streams, so that's what you want to do. Even like today, right? Xbox Series X, they slashed the price to $349 in the U.S., with or without Diablo 4 for under $350. The thing is, and I expected to see this, and I wasn't disappointed. I saw plenty of this where people were going, that's because they're getting out of the console business and they're desperate, they're doing this to blah, blah, blah. Listen, this is a temporary price cut, by the way, and Sony did one over the Black Friday holidays for $350 as well. So what was Sony's excuse then? Well, shut up. You know damn well none of these companies Microsoft is not leaving any of this. There's no reason. And listen, Microsoft is a company that is a $1 trillion company, right? And I'll be the first to say this, and I'll be the first to admit this. They have to realize, and they probably do realize, I'm going to just guess, that if you were to put all of your games on PlayStation, you have rendered your console irrelevant and irreparable damage, right? Like, there's Xbox fans. You guys might not think so or whatever, but what point would there be to even buy an Xbox? Most people, probably myself included, would just, from that point on, just buy PlayStation. That would kill the Xbox console off completely because you could get both Xbox and PlayStation games on that platform. So, console exclusives are still needed. There's certain things, obviously, like, Call of Duty, Minecraft, that kind of stuff, clearly can go everywhere. Other companies do that as well. When you look at how these things kind of go or whatever, it's kind of simple. Those games have hundreds of millions of people that play them, so it wouldn't make sense to keep those exclusive or whatever, even if you would sell slightly more consoles. If you did that, it doesn't make sense. Clearly they're setting themselves up to have kind of the best of both worlds, and Sony does this too. When you look at Destiny is a game that is owned by Sony, but guess what? They also put that on, and every future Bungie game will be on Xbox and Nintendo or what have you, whatever the case may be, even Marathon. So like I said, I don't understand the thought process behind it. I think that it's really kind of a shame. But at the same time, I think that, people are starting to maybe understand that a little bit more finally. And, and that's really the part where I kind of come into this and I go, listen, Microsoft has learned a lot from their mistakes. They continue to do things that people are asking for. So what exactly is there to hate on Xbox at this particular point? They've had games announced. They have games coming out. They just released games. They have powerful hardware. They have the cheapest hardware. They have Game Pass that puts the day one stuff on there, including a lot of third-party stuff. They have a ton of indies. They have a great controller, great online, easy to use console. Like, what backwards compatibility? Honestly, what more can they do? Like, what are they doing that's pissing off so many people? Like, tell me. I would love to know. Please let me know. Their showcases, announcements, they do all of this stuff. They do stuff that Sony doesn't do, but people are still lining up to get PlayStation 5, right? And apparently hate Xbox. I would love to know the reasoning. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.